Hashtag Trending is made possible by the generous support of Zoho Canada, a unique and powerful software suite to transform the way you work. Designed for businesses of all sizes, built by a company that values your privacy. Visit them at zoho.com. Ikea will pay you to work in the Metaverse. 3 of the big AI providers go down in the same week, and a new Microsoft program called Recall elicits a huge backlash, which is why we predict it will be hugely successful. These stories and more on this Crazy Days of Summer edition of Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Here's a use case for ChatGPT that I hadn't thought of. Predicting the outcome of a playoff series. For most of you that are sports enthusiasts, this might not seem like a big deal. But for a nerd like me who tries to keep up just enough so I can make meaningful conversation or survive the office pool, this could be a big time saver. So I asked ChatGPT, who's going to win the NBA Finals?
The Celtics are generally favored to win, with their depth and strong defense highlighted as key advantages. They have home court advantage and a solid track record in the playoffs, although some analysts point out that they have struggled at times in closing games. On the other hand, the Mavericks, led by Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, have a dynamic duo that can change the course of any game. Some experts believe that if Doncic and Irving perform at their peak, they could lead Dallas to an upset victory. Overall, while the Celtics are the favorites, the Mavericks should not be discounted, making this a series to watch closely.
I couldn't help myself, so I just took it to another level. What about the point spread on the first game?
Given the current predictions and betting tips, a reasonable point spread for the next game would be Boston Celtics 6.5. The Celtics have shown strong performances in their playoff series openers and have beaten the Mavericks by significant margins during the regular season. This spread reflects their home court advantage and overall team strength.
So now I'm a sports genius. It'll be interesting to see how accurate this is. And thanks to Anatoly at PR Care for suggesting the story. Ikea is taking an innovative approach to attracting talent by launching a virtual job opportunity within the gaming platform Roblox. In a first for the company, Ikea will be paying real wages to a limited number of players tasked with staffing a virtual Ikea store in the new Roblox game called The Coworker. 10 lucky players aged 18 and over residing in the UK or Ireland will be hired to perform duties reminiscent of actual IKEA co-workers. They'll earn an hourly wage equivalent to £13.15, about $17 to serve up digital versions of IKEA's famous Swedish meatballs or redesign virtual showroom floors. Darren Taylor, the country, people, and culture manager for IKEA UK and Ireland, says, "Our co-workers are able to change roles, switch departments, and grow in any direction they choose. The game is an advertisement for the wonderful career opportunities available at IKEA." While the game is open for anyone to play for free, applications are now being accepted for the paid virtual roles. Prospective digital employees will have to successfully navigate virtual job interviews before being selected for the positions. For those who thought the metaverse was dead, you can see how major brands are exploring innovative ways to engage with younger audiences through gaming platforms like Roblox. For IKEA, it's an opportunity to showcase potential career paths in an engaging new format. For parents of that kid in the basement who won't stop playing video games, it's hope.
Hi, mateys. We be having a lot of scurvy knobs checking out ChatGPT right now, and we be doing our best to make sure every landlubber gets a chance to give it a try. We're sorry for the inconvenience this be causing.
Part of the message that greeted users unable to get on ChatGPT yesterday. But the reality was, it wasn't just ChatGPT. Major outages struck ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity, 3 of the leading AI providers, in a simultaneous disruption that left many businesses and users without access to these critical AI tools. Imagine this scenario. Your company is heavily leveraging AI assistants like ChatGPT for everything from customer service to content creation to data analysis, and suddenly the AI system goes dark without a warning. Across your organization, productivity screeches to a halt as human workers find themselves cut off from the AI capabilities they've now come to depend on. This fictional nightmare played out in real life this week, and it wasn't just ChatGPT that talked like a pirate. As one observer tweeted, "What the actual F is going on?" One article stated, "This has been a wake-up call for our over-reliance on a handful of AI giants. The centralization and lack of resilience in the AI ecosystem has been exposed. Organizations need robust contingency plans and must rethink concentrating so much operational dependency on a few AI winners that could become single points of failure." The outages also raised concern around capacity constraints, potentially cyber threats targeting AI providers, and a lack of transparency from the companies around what actually went wrong. As AI plays an increasingly vital role, this week's disruptions serve as a cautionary tale. That immense potential comes with new vulnerabilities businesses must proactively manage before hitching their mission-critical functions to AI systems that could suddenly go dark. And worse, when they do that, they could say something that you might not think is exactly as funny as they do. Microsoft's recall. Analysts and IT experts hate it, which is why it's going to be wildly successful. I may be no good at sports predictions, but this time I think I actually have nailed this one. Few new software products have produced this level of backlash from the media and expert commentary as Microsoft's new offering, Recall. With a name inspired by the sci-fi movie Total Recall, this software will keep an ongoing record of everything you've done on your PC and let you be able to replay and search that. And what's not to hate about that? It may be great for users, but it is, as security experts point out, a privacy and security disaster waiting to happen. Get control of that record, and you can see everything anybody has done. And to illustrate this, an ethical hacker, Alex Hagenow, released a demo tool that can automatically extract and display everything from Recall on a laptop. He calls it Total Recall. So it's no wonder why a number of security experts have said that under no circumstances should this software be on any corporate PC. My favorite headline is obvious but clever. It's from the Register. It reads, "Recall, recall." And this negative reaction will ensure the success of this concept. Don't get me wrong, this may force Microsoft to back off. I'm not really sure, but the concept of recall is going to succeed regardless of what anyone in IT security wants or thinks. Why? Because it's a great idea from a user point of view. How many times have you said to yourself, "I just saw that." You've read something, you saw something, and 2 hours later or a day later, you say, "Where was that? What did that say?" We all do it. The fact is, we drink from a fire hose every day. We are all exposed to what would have once been an unimaginable amount of information. Somehow, we are required in real time to isolate and note what's important, and out of all of that, what we need to remember. But with the ability to create information digitally and also using AI, it becomes an impossible volume to continue to weed through, to find and recall what we need. And even if we manage to record it, we can't find it in the thousands of pictures, the tens of thousands of emails, the hundreds of sites we visit each day, the thousands of messages we get on Slack, chat, or wherever, and the hours of meetings we sit through. And to boot, a lot of this information is unstructured. And that's why studies consistently show that the average knowledge worker spends an hour or two every day looking for some information they may need. And I've always maintained this 1 to 2 hours is optimistic. Add another factor, it gets worse as you get older, and a lot of us are getting older. Now, Google's had a lot of stumbles with their AI products, but one announcement that caught everyone's attention, the ability to search through photographs and find information. So Recall is something that has an irresistible allure. Windows Central had an article titled, "Everyone apparently hates Windows Recall, and yet a bunch of clones of it have already spawned." In other words, hey, if you hate it so much, why are there so many versions of it? And this is not exactly true. I've been using the same concept in a software called Rewind for months now. And that company is busily working to use AI to not only remember, but be able to find that information with a simple user interface. And I'm sure there are many more now and many more to come. So why this sudden reaction? Two things. One, the experts are right. It's a huge vulnerability. But two, it came from Microsoft. And yeah, it's a big company and all that, which means that it could be shipped to unknown millions of users. And the reality is, at least recently, Microsoft doesn't exactly have a stellar record in terms of being able to protect highly sensitive data. Might not be fair, but it's real. Will this backlash stop something that most of us want and many of us need? It hasn't worked so far. Maybe our efforts would be better spent trying to figure out how we could secure this in a real and meaningful way. Currently, the strategy of how to manage the risk, don't install it or turn it off at the right time, are as good as Nancy Reagan's "just say no" campaign. You don't remember what that was? Or how effective it was or wasn't? Geez. Don't you wish you had Total Recall? And that's it for today's show. Remember, you can get us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on YouTube in both audio and video format. Show notes are on technewsday.com or .ca. Take your pick. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday. Arr.